What's up, guys? I am back. I know it has been so long since I have brought a video here for you guys, but I'm getting back into the groove, definitely getting back into MLB. Took a rather large break, but just jumping right into this one, Craig Biggio is going to leadoff walk, 7-pitch at bat for Mr. Craig. James Paxton on the mound, pretty solid pitcher, but Mickey is going to hit a double in the gap. Freaking Biggio, 93 speed, running around the bases. They have no shot at home. Even though that was closer than I thought it was going to be, no shot at home. So that is 1 run, and they haven't even gotten it out. Another 3-2 count. Mike Trout is going to strike out on the biggest meatball maybe ever. That might have been the biggest meatball ever. We got the Babe batting .091, and he is going to ground out to first base. He sucks, but I still like him on the team just because he looks funny. Ernie Spanks Banks up at the dish, and he's just going to fly out to center field. But, hey, pretty good inning. 18 pitches, and I got a run on Mickey Mantle's double. Now, here's the thing. This is a Wainwright debut, and honestly, Wainwright, after the game, pretty solid as we get a nice little ground ball to Ernie Spanks at short. Here's the thing. Wainwright is not a strikeout guy, even though he had a bunch of strikeouts this game. That was a meatball, by the way. If you throw anything knee-high that is off speed to Mickey, he will send it to the three universes over. That's how far he hit that ball. That was a nice hit. Now, Mike Trout, we're going to get him to ground out on an inside sinker. But anyway, what I was saying with Wainwright, he is not a strikeout pitcher. You are going to need to get soft contact, and really that's not that big of a deal. It was a big mistake pitch. Ernie Banks is going to dive. Barely missed that, but that really should have been taken out. Not really a smooth first inning here for Wainwright. This really wasn't the craziest card. I didn't see this card and I didn't freak out. But being a Cardinal fan, you got to try out Wainwright. One of the pitchers that we've had since really I can remember. But that's I guess kind of a rocky first inning, but that's all right because Larry is going to smack that ball left center. Larry is honestly probably my best player. Throws a bunch of people out from right field. Not too slow. He's decently fast, and he just hits dongs literally every time. Lefty too. Sheffield is going to pop up. That is Sheffield's middle name. Sheffield or Gary Pop-Up Sheffield. He is very bad at that, but it's fine. He still hits nukes sometimes. Pudge coming up to the plate. Pudge is going to swing and miss. That ball is actually gonna bounce pretty far, but they're gonna get him out on a strong throw there. Adam Wainwright is up at the dish, 0-2, gonna strike out what? Okay, never mind. Fouls it off. There's the strikeout. Just a little bit later than I thought it was gonna be. Okay, so Wainwright back on the hill, 26 pitches in the first inning, not too good. But it's a hard liner up the middle, hard ground ball, I should say. And that's going to be 1 out due to the shift. I'm sure that guy is not too happy. I hate it when the shift's on and it screws you over. It's a great pitch to Biggio. Going to have an easy ground out. That's the thing with these guys. These guys that have accurate sinkers and especially that move a little bit more, it's so hard to square one up. You have to wait for one over the middle. That was a really risky fastball. And that thing just gets jacked out of the park. It wasn't even close. That was just a nice piece of hitting there. It wasn't really that over the middle of the plate. That is going to be a nice little corner pitch to James Paxton. And honestly, Wainwright's pitch mix is pretty solid. That's a beautiful pitch again. The fastball it's pretty accurate, of course, not too crazy fast. That sinker is very nasty. The curveball, changeup, the guy has everything going for him. He's really well. He's very good, I should say, on the pitch mix side of things. Craig Biggio is going to ground out to shortstop, even though he is going to make it very close with that 93 speed over there. Now we got Mickey Mantle up at the plate, and honestly, it doesn't even matter where you throw the baseball. He just smacks the baseball everywhere, even though he's just going to fly out to right there. I feel like, beginning of the year, this year, I didn't really do YouTube. I didn't do anything, so the channel was slower starting just because, I just started in the middle of the year, so the hype had already it didn't go down, but, the community was not nearly as large as it was at the very beginning of the year, but now I have everything set up to where before the game next year, I'll be coming out with videos talking about, just pre-order stuff, what version should you pre-order, and that kind of stuff, which hopefully that's when the community is going to start picking up again. And because right now at this point of the year, the try-hards, all the die-hard MLB fans are still here, of course, but more of the casual fan base, I feel like, has definitely transferred over to Madden. I think Madden is a really rough time for MLB. That's why they always have those big shows, those big sales going on around that time. But I'm super excited to keep on doing this, keep on growing. If we can get to 500 before the next season, which or the next game, so MLB 21. That's a beautiful pitch by Wainwright, by the way. If I can get to 500 subscribers before 21, and as we're talking about, that guy should have been thrown out 100%, not even close in my opinion, but I guess he got it. Anyway, if I can get 500 subs before MLB The Show 21, I think that initial rush of subs at the beginning of the year will really help me skyrocket and hopefully hit 600, 700 in the first month. Just because I feel like the beginning of sports games, people are just so try hard. They want to get the best lineups. They want to get the best budget beasts. So you guys can plan to see pitching tips, hitting tips, just tips on how to win games, mindset, that kind of stuff. I'm going to try to do as much as other YouTubers and even more. I really haven't seen that many mindset videos, and I know the casual people are like, yeah, whatever. But seriously, the mindset that you play in, and if you kind of defeat yourself not before the game, but before the game's over, let's say, first inning, the guy hits like a 3-run shot or something, you're like, oh, there's no way I'm going to come back. You just can't say that to yourself. You got to stick positive. And honestly, it does make a big difference. That cutter is nasty, but it moves a little bit too much and hits this man's. I don't know what's happening here. Craig Biggio just tried to bunt a ball that he could have taken a bite out of if he wanted to. You're going to swing and foul that high fastball off. And now you got him 0-2. No outs, though. So it's a little bit, I was thinking, all right, this curveball is either going to miss or it's going to get a double play. He's going to foul it off. And I'm thinking, all right, let's go back four-seam, high four-seam, maybe try to get him to pop something up. He's just going to swing and miss. 1 out. His creative player, Barry Bonds, is 0-2, but he is 1-for-1. He hit a jack earlier in the game. That was a meatball, but I guess the slide step got him there. Pop fly to Sheffield, 2 down. And, of course, lucky me, James Paxton is up. Almost gets a hit, but just going to ground out to short. Ernie Spanks Banks over there. And that is going to be the end of the inning. Carlos Correa, Travis d'Arnaud, I believe that's how you say his name. Both came out last night, I believe, and I played 2 games with them, thinking, okay. The first game, I was like, all right, this is the debut game for both of them. d'Arnaud, first at-bat, smacks a double off the wall, and I'm probably going to put those videos together. It's going to be a short video, but both of them, both of the games were just quits right away. I just got up way too much in the first inning and the second inning. But I did play this guy who was a jerk. I got up 3 or 4 runs, and in the first inning, as Babe makes that pretty solid play. 3 or 4 runs in the first inning, and if you don't pitch your starting, so right now how Stand-Nim works is when you start a starting pitcher, which 99% of the games are started by starting pitchers, not relievers or closers or whatever. When you start a starting pitcher, when you just bring in a starting pitcher, their energy gets knocked down by half already, and then after that, it's also what you use them in the game with, So let's say I pitch 5 innings, then it would be half of his stamina minus 5 innings. So it's like, dude, it's a ton. So your pitchers basically die if they start the game. So I'm up. This guy was planning to quit. Makes me throw one pitch with my starter, and then quits. So my starter goes half energy. So it's like games like that, just frustrating. I don't really like the new mechanic, but I hated Corey Kluber basically being a closer. So I guess I'm okay with it. Right now I only have 2 hits, which really isn't too solid. Not really solid at all. This was one of my first games getting back to the show, though, so I'm definitely proud of this. 2 runs and the 1 out in the 6. I mean, that's not too bad, and especially I'm not using some crazy prestige starter. I'm using this mediocre Wainwright, so I'm just pitching well with him. Sad news, though, my controller that I have right here with me, I have Control Freaks, so I use the Purple Galaxy Control Freaks. Those things are awesome. I will definitely next time I make a tips video, and if you guys want tips videos, I have some on the channel already. Just go look at some of the past videos. You'll find them hitting tips, and just tips to get better at the game. And I have a video. I've mentioned the Control Freaks before. They're awesome for hitting. I use the medium rise for hitting on my left stick. I also use the medium rise on my left stick. Like, I never take it off. That is like shooting games, so like for Rainbow Six Siege, for Call of Duties, I keep the left stick on. The right stick I do take off for other games that aren't MLB, but I do use the high rise Purple Galaxy for pitching, for analog pitching. By the way, just if you guys didn't know, a little tip, analog pitching is the way to go. I started off this year using Pulse. I feel like that's why I really couldn't make the World Series. Next year, I'm going to be starting off the year stacked team. Hopefully, going to get the mantle of next year by a month in or so. I usually, I have this family restaurant that I work at, and, I save up some money in the off season, man. Try to put some money aside for the show, for YouTube, But really, I have most of my equipment, not really anything else that's needed. And I just, man, beginning of the year, bro, oh boy, it is going to be crazy. Now that I'm high quality, so I feel like at the beginning of the year, I was not nearly as good as everybody else because I'd never really played the show competitively. That was a dangerous pitch, by the way, but we luckily got out of it. But yeah, at the beginning of the year, I don't really think I was better than a lot of people. I just got my wins because I had godly players. And honestly, I feel kind of bad, but as the year went on, the team started to even out, so the people who really invested heavy at the beginning were starting, like the free-to-play people catch up eventually, and it's really doesn't take that long for those free-to-play players to catch up, just because those live series aren't really the most amazing thing anymore. And so after they started to catch up, I definitely started to see a big decline in my skill. So I watched a bunch of tip videos, and doing YouTube has made me more serious about this game, so I can produce content of my own, and that's making me a better player myself. Fernando Tatis, we're going to bring in Tom Hankey. Fernando Tatis at the plate. Prestige Hankey on the mound. Hankey is honestly a really solid pitcher. But anyway, so going into next year, I'm also going to know what kind of pitchers I like, what I don't like, make smarter decisions and things. So I think it's super good to have experience, If you go into, like I went into the game this year, wasn't really thinking too crazy. I planned to build my team out of all live series people at the very beginning, and really that's probably not the best strategy, but, it's just having played a game for the full year and experience everything, that's very, very important, taking it into the next year. Also, just let me know, what kind of content do you guys want to see? What kind of videos would you be looking forward to me making maybe next year? Because I know a lot of people that watch YouTube and that are somewhat serious about these sports games usually buy them mostly every year. So I think gaining that consistent fan base, especially, this year I started off fresh, no subs, no real. I started an Instagram page, ShoeDaddy8YT, same logo as here on YouTube. Go check it out if you would like. But anyway, I have all of those. Like, I have 400 something subscribers now. I have an Instagram page with over 1,000 followers. I have some sort of start. That really is going to help me. I feel like at the beginning of the year, I always used to look for YouTubers that had, like, I would never sub to somebody with 100 YouTubers back then before I did YouTube. Now, subscribers really don't, it doesn't matter on how many subscribers you have, because somebody with 100 subscribers can make far better contact than me, who, I may have 4 times the subscribers as them. So I feel like having that 400 subscriber, maybe hitting 500 before the start of the new season, I think that's huge, and that's really going to help my following a little bit. Ernie Banks is going to whack a ball into the visitor bullpen, or into the home bullpen, into my opponent's bullpen. First game back, my dad walked in the room as I hit this home run, so I kind of had to show him, But that was sweet. 3-run bomb. This guy has basically lost all hope. Larry Walker is going to ground out to Tatis over there at not first base, at shortstop to first base. And that was my 4th hit of the game, that bomb. So, definitely not an offensive onslaught. I have more runs than hits, so I don't know. I've also not really pitched extremely well. My opponent just, I don't know, man. He just is not hitting. Not to be rude or anything, but not a great game for him. Throwing some meatballs that he's just absolutely missed. That's a really, really, really good pitch and a really, really, really good check swing on his part. I hear a lot of people getting mad at the check swinging, but honestly, check swinging, I like it because it's like I check swing so much because it's like you're always ready to hit. You're always ready to hit. You never want to look for walks or anything. It just makes the game boring. I'm going to get Babe to ground out, but I have Kenny Lofton at second base because I had a pinch runner. And now I'm like, oh, shoot. Here comes Yelich against the righty. Yelich is going to bunt. And I'm going to throw it to second base, get the lead runner. And then Kenny Lofton can't catch it. But even if he could have caught it, Yelich was way safe. So 2 down, up by 3. So the tying run is on deck. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Righty on righty. I throw a meatball right there, and Biggio is going to rope a double. And I'm getting very, very scared. At this point, I am shivering in my boots. Tying run is on deck, at the plate. This guy's already hit a bomb this game. Switch hitter, so it's like whatever. So I bring in Rob Dibble, probably my most reliable closer. And I throw him a slider. I'm so glad that didn't get smacked. And man, if he was early on that might have been it. But he wasn't. Late, popping it up to left field, fly out to left field. That was a great game. Great first game back. And honestly, overall, I thought I liked Wainwright a little bit. Definitely not part of my starting rotation, not my starting 5 on the hill. But overall, great game. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys want me to debut anybody else, let me know. Have a great day, and peace.